Bible Stories 1. Adam and Eve. Adam was the name of the first man, and he gave the name Eve to his wife. They named the place where they lived Eden, and it was a magnificent garden that was far away in the East Country. It was filled with gorgeous trees and flowers of every type. But their time in Eden was short because they disobeyed God's instruction and consumed the fruit of a tree that they were not permitted to have. As a result, they were expelled from the garden. They were forced to leave their lovely house when an angel demanded that they go immediately. Therefore, Adam and his wife left the Garden of Eden to seek their fortune elsewhere in the world. They were alone themselves for a while, but after some time had passed, God blessed them with a child of their own. This child was the very first human being to be born into this world. Eve gave him the name Cain, and then some time later she had another child, whom she called Abel. After reaching adulthood, both of the sons followed in their father's footsteps by finding employment. Cain, the oldest brother, decided to become a farmer and cultivate grain and other fruits for his own use. Abel, the younger brother, grew up to become a shepherd after acquiring a flock of sheep. Adam and Eve were able to have conversations with God and hear God's voice when they were residing in the Garden of Eden. But since they were now living in the outside world, they could no longer freely communicate with God in the same way that they had previously. Therefore, when they came to God, they constructed an altar out of piled-up stones, and on top of it, they set something as a gift to God, and then they burned it to demonstrate that it was not their own, but rather that it was offered to God, whom they could not see. After that, they prayed to God in front of the altar. In their prayer, they begged God to forgive them for all they had done wrong, and they also requested God to bless them and look out for their best interests. Both of these brothers, Cain and Abel, brought their own individual gifts to place on the altar in front of God. Cain brought the fruits and the grain that he had cultivated, while Abel brought a sheep from his flock, slaughtered it, and then burned it on the altar. God was delighted with Abel and the sacrifice that he brought to him, but God was not pleased with Cain and the offering that he brought to him. It's possible that God wanted Cain to present something that had life, as Abel did. It's also possible that Cain's heart wasn't in the right place when he approached God. And God made it clear that he was dissatisfied with Cain, and Cain, rather than being sorry for his mistake and asking God to pardon him, became exceedingly furious towards God and also angry against his brother Abel. This is because Cain did not beg God to forgive him for his sin. While they were working together in the field, Cain became angry and attacked his brother Abel, causing his death. Therefore, the first baby to ever be born in the world grew up to be the person responsible for the death of his own sibling. The Lord inquired of Cain about his brother Abel and asked, "Where is Abel, your brother?" And Cain said, "I do not know, why should I take care of my brother?" I do not know why Cain should take care of Abel. Then the Lord addressed Cain with these words, "What exactly is it that you've done here? The blood of your brother is like a voice screaming out to me from the ground below. Do you see how the earth has opened up like a mouth in order to consume the blood of your brother? You will bear the consequences of your brother's murder for the rest of your life. Due to the evil crime that you have committed, you will be sent out into the world and will never be able to call one place home." Cain spoke to God like this, "The severity of my punishment is more than I can handle. You have separated me from other people, and you have concealed your face from me. You have cast me out from among men. If a guy comes across me, he will murder me since I will be alone and I will have no one to talk to or confide in." And God replied to Cain, "If someone hurts you, they will pay for it." And the Lord God marked Cain with a sign, so that everybody who came into contact with him would recognize who he was and would also understand that God had forbidden any man to hurt him. After that, Cain and his wife moved away from Adam's house to a spot where they could be by themselves, and it was there that they started a family. Cain's family then constructed a city in that territory, and Cain named the city after his first child, whom he had named Enoch. Cain's family then lived there.